Hey everyone, Ann Strout. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that I really love, and it just kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that I have a multi-VA team, and I have this forever support, and that's what we offer to my clients. And so today what I wanted to talk about was how to build a team that can grow with your business. And the reason that this conversation has struck it up is because through some of my entrepreneur conversations and some of my masterminding and different conversations that I have been having with my fellow entrepreneurs is the struggle behind finding a team that can really support and grow with them. And so what I have found through these conversations is there's a lot of on the whim hiring, so sort of as needed, and the lack of the plan in there. So we kind of are in the middle of a launch and we know we need support, or there's something we don't know how to do. And again, we probably didn't plan for that and we're just doing it on a whim. And so we kind of hire as things come up. I used to do this. I did this for about 6 years, and I really was never able to grow my business. I was never able to really have anyone that cared about my business or cared about me being successful. For the most part, they could care less if I even sent out a nice blog. And so the reason was I didn't really know where I was going or what I was doing, and I didn't really even know what I needed. I just knew, like, at that very moment, I need someone who knows how to work in Infusionsoft, or I need someone that's an expert in WordPress, or someone put my launch together, tell me what I need to do and how do I get this out. And so we tend to do that because we're so busy as entrepreneurs, and we want our business to grow. That's the intention. And so we're busy, we're active. However, we don't take the time to properly plan, and we don't really stop and think about where we want to go, what we want to accomplish, what we want to happen. Like, what is our business? What do we want our business to look like? What's the success look like? And so we just know we have this number that we would love to create for the year, and we know that we have maybe some very cool and efficient and effective programs or products that we want to offer, but we didn't take the time to plan those things out. So when it comes time to actually implement in those products and programs and those fabulous opportunities that we're sharing with the world, we don't even really know what we need. And so we don't plan ahead, we don't hire ahead, we don't look at, okay, what's the plan if this happens, or what's the backup plan if everything just kind of crashes. Like, what's the plan? And so when I was having these conversations with these fellow entrepreneurs, what kept coming up was I just can't seem to find support that wants to stick around or that cares as much as I do about my business success. Like, there doesn't feel like an invested interest. And so one of the things I love about this topic is it's not that difficult. This is not that hard at all. It's actually really easy to build an amazing team and to have the right type of support in your business that is not a one-night stand. They want to stick around for the long haul. They want to grow and expand with you, and they are ambitious. They are ready to do this, and they're ready to dive in, help you put the structure in place and build a business that is going to allow you to reach your goals and be successful. And they want you to be successful. They care if you are or you are not. And so I think that the trouble with this is a couple of things. Is one, I feel like we spend too much time in the business that we don't put enough focus on the business. And when I say that, I mean in the business, the implementation and the doing. That's in the business. That's busy stuff. You could do that for eternity and never get caught up. And that consumes us. And that's what I'm finding with a lot of us, is that there's so many people working in the business that they don't put a second on the business. And so when you step out of the business on the inside and all that implementation and doing, and you step back and you start working and focusing on the business, then you're able to look at the plan. You're able to look at what you want to accomplish, where you want to go, what products or programs you're going to be offering, the money you want to make, and what needs to happen to make that money. Then you know, once you know those pieces, well, now you know who you need, because you can look at those and say, well, I know that I can't be doing the technical back-end stuff. I know I don't know anything about Infusionsoft or One Shopping Cart or WordPress or, whatever types of programs you're looking at. I know I just want to focus on one-on-one coaching or speaking or live events or writing this book. I don't want to deal with the implementation. So now you know what you need to do. Now you know who you need to go look for. And that's the first step. Like, if you don't know where you're going, you can't hire a team to come support you, because they're going to be right there with you. They're going to say, I don't know where you're going. I don't know what you're doing. Just send me what you need when you need it. And I guess we'll just kind of like scramble through these things. And so if you really want a team that wants to stick around, and you want a team that cares about you being successful, you have to too. You have to do that too. So that means you have to take a look at your 12-month vision. And it doesn't mean, oh my gosh, I have to map every single detail of my 12 months out, and I have to know all of the ins and the outs, and I have to have it set in stone. You don't. Get an idea of what you want to offer this year. What types of new programs do you want to put out there? What new products? And do you want to offer one-on-one coaching this year? Or do you want to go from a 3-month coaching program to offering 6 months? Do you want to do a mastermind? Is it live events you want to do? Maybe you want to step out of the one-on-one coaching and you want to do more group coaching or VIP days or travel or whatever it is that you want to do. Figure that out. What do you want to offer this year? What do you want to give to your audience? What do you want to be doing? What really gets you up in the morning and excited? So once you figure that piece out, well, then you can take a look at who you need to help you do that, right? And you can take a look at breaking it down into the 90-day chunks. And I talk about this a lot. Is it can be too overwhelming if you're going to try to accomplish a 12-month vision in like a 90-day span. You can't do that. So a lot of times we avoid mapping out and planning our 12 months because of the overwhelmingness. It seems like so much. And then what we do as entrepreneurs, especially if we don't have a team in place, immediately it's, oh my gosh, how am I going to implement all this? I can't do all this stuff. I don't even know half of this stuff. So, oh my gosh, and it becomes too much, and then we just get stuck in that. And so having the right team in place, and having a team that is right there with you and really cares about your business, they will work with you to take that 12-month vision, break it into a 90-day measurable and achievable chunk, and then you can do your 12-month vision in 90-day chunks. So much easier, right? So typically you're going to do a launch because you're going to launch a new product or program, or maybe you're going to do a live event, and so all of the details need to be planned and mapped out. You got to figure all that stuff out, right? So that's, 90 days is a pretty reasonable time for the most part for something like that. And so once you are able to break it down into what do I want to accomplish the first quarter, and I need a team in place that's going to look at that with me, brainstorm with me, and make sure that this is going to help me reach that ultimate 12-month goal I have. So if you're looking to make $300,000 this year, then you need to think about the programs and products you're going to offer, how much you need to make with those, and how many people you need to have in that program, or how many people need to purchase that product each 90 days. So every 90 days you need to be breaking that down. And I use like a spreadsheet that calculates for me, where I say, okay, this year I want to make this much. And then I say, here's what I'm offering. I'm offering this, and I'm offering this, and I'm offering this. So usually my 3 or 4 top, my most lucrative or profitable programs or services is usually what I start with. So 3 or 4 of those. And then I say, okay, if I get this amount of people in those, then at this much, then I make this much, and it tells me how close I am to that goal I want to make. And then I know exactly what I need to do. And then I break that down into 90 days. So this is what I'm offering for the first quarter. This is what I'm going to offer in the second quarter, and so forth. And you do that. And then at that end of that 12 months, you can see if you've reached your goal. And if you have a team, you can measure these results as you go. So maybe in that first 90 days, you didn't accomplish what you wanted. Maybe you didn't make the money you thought you would, or you didn't get as many people into that new program. Get with your team and brainstorm, and let's see what happened. Create a process. Find out, what happened here. Like, where did we go wrong, or what do we need to put in this process so that next time we do this, we have better results, or it's more effective, or we get more sales, or whatever it is. So if you know where you're going, then you can have a team that you can bring into place, that you can create and say, here's my 12-month vision. Here's my idea of what I would like to offer this year. And for the first quarter, or my second quarter, or for the next 90 days, this is the program that I think is the best place to start, or this is the service, or this is what I want to do. I think that this will be most profitable and be a great start to my year. And so if you have a team that can come in and brainstorm those with you, then you have a team that cares. You have a team that can say, cool, okay, I have an idea of your 12-month vision and how I can support you, and they're on board. They want to help you achieve that. But if your head is spinning and you're all over the place and you have no idea from month to month to month what you're doing, you're going to get people that are going to come on and they're going to help you get a couple things done, and they're out. They're not going to want to stick around. It's too chaotic. And one thing to keep in mind is a lot of the people that you the doers and the implementers, they're entrepreneurs too. You're not their only client usually. And so you can find people that maybe would like an exclusive opportunity, but as you get started, you're probably not going to be able to offer them something, a position with you that's profitable enough to make them leave all their other clients. And so you have to start somewhere. And so if you're going to start with hiring, these implementers and doers, you have to go in it with the mindset knowing you won't be their only client. And so if you are throwing things left and right all over the place at these people, and they're trying to juggle this and keep you happy, and they've got all these other clients over here that have everything mapped out and it's planned and they know what they need and they know how they need to support them, they're going to let you go and they're going to stick with the ones that are organized. And the reason is because they're the ones that everything kind of falls on their shoulders to get stuff done, because that's what they do. And so it helps if you have some organization. If you're unorganized, your team is going to be unorganized. If you don't know where you're going, your team isn't going to know where you're going. And so now you've just brought more people into this vicious cycle of doing everything on a whim. And then at the end of the day, wondering, why didn't this team member do what I wanted? And how come I hired all these people and I didn't achieve anything? And so you want to look at is it a mix of you and the team members maybe that you hired? Is it that you have nothing planned and you're all chaos and have no idea what you're doing? So the first step to building a team or finding a team, when I say build, I don't mean you need to go out and handpick these people, but if you hire a team like similar to my team and many of the other teams out there where we have the whole team right here under one roof, if you're going to hire support where you have a full staff team, then the first thing you need to do is know where you're going. You need to know what you want to do over the next 12 months. If you have a coach, that coach will help you do that. If you work with a strategic team, similar to like my team, I do that with you. We map out your 90 days. I get an idea of what you want to accomplish in the 12-month span. And then you and your project manager, my project manager, and yourself, us two will get together and we will map out that 90 days. And we don't just map it out with whatever you suggest. We bring our suggestions to the table. And again, everything's got to be closest to the money. So we need to make sure that what you have in mind for your first 90 days with us is going to align with what you're trying to accomplish in that 12-month vision. And so that's the second piece, is deciding on what type of team you're looking for. And again, this is the same thing. If you don't know what you're looking for, then the chances of finding what you really need is very slim to none, and it's probably not going to happen. And so think about the type of team that you want. So do you want a one-on-one team where it's really just you and another person, or maybe you and two people? Keep in mind with something like this. So I have a lot of fellow entrepreneurs who will come to me and say, oh my gosh, Ann, I need support. I need to come on with you. Like, help me. And we'll talk and have a conversation. And at the end of the conversation, I might say, I don't think you're ready for team support. Maybe they're too controlling, they're too obsessive, they don't know how to let go, or maybe they're really needy and they need to have someone that can jump on the phone every 5 seconds or on a whim, like, hey, I just need to hop on the phone real quick and talk about this. If you're looking for that, then yeah, team support, like what I offer, would not be a fit for you. And so this is why I like to have a powerful conversation and find out what you're looking for, because sometimes you don't know. You just know, I need help. And so I like to find out what type of help you need. And that's important for you to know. If you're looking for one-on-one support, keep a couple of things in mind. You will have somebody who is kind of like your sidekick. You'll have that because you'll get that one-on-one experience. So it's a nurtured, closer relationship. And that's good. But the problem with it also that you want to keep in mind is if you are looking to expand and grow and double or triple your income, if you're really looking to get active in your business, you're not going to have time to train, manage, delegate, all of that with that person. And so that's what's going to happen because you don't have anyone else on your team. So if you are hiring one other person to come work with you because you want that kind of nurtured really close relationship, you're taking on a second job, essentially is what you're doing. You're going to take on a second job because now you have to figure out what tasks you want to delegate. You have to give those tasks and tell that person what you need. And then when that person is done doing that, you have to follow up, you have to check the work, you have to make sure it's done right, and then you have to give them the next, and so on and so and so that will be a pattern. Now, some of that can ease up as that person kind of gets used to you and your business and what you need and what you want. But essentially starting out, you are training this person. You have to do that. Somebody has to do that. Okay, so you can't just hire someone and step out. So you're gonna, if you want the one-on-one relationship, it's going to entail that you basically are taking on a second job for a little bit of time. With the one-on-one as well, again, for the most part, most entrepreneurs, doers, implementers work with many other clients. And so they can only grow with you so much before they reach their capacity, basically. So another thing with hiring just a one-on-one support is that they can only support you so much before there's no time left in a day to support you any further. And so typically, depending on how many clients they have, they may only be able to do a couple hours a week with you. They may only be able to do a couple hours a day with you. And as your business continues to grow, that's going to become a struggle. And then you are going to find yourself needing more support because your business has grown and this person does not have capacity to continue, supporting you, or can only support you for X amount of hours a week and can't go past that because they have other clients. And so you have to think about long term. You can't say, I need a long-term support team and then think short term, because in the end, you're going to get short-term support. So if you want a long-term support team to grow and expand with you, and you need someone to help you to support you so you can double and triple your income and grow, you need a support team that can support that. So you need a team that wants to do the long-term and that also has the capacity to do the long-term, right? So you need people who don't get capped out after 2 hours a week, or are not going to get capped out after 3 hours, a week or a day, or 40 hours a month, and say, whoa, that's all I can do. And so one of the things that I do when I'm building out my team, because I have to grow and expand my team to continue supporting all of you. And so what I do is I look at the role itself and I take a look at what type of support I need. And when I'm doing my conversations, because I don't interview, but when I do my conversations with potential team members, that's what we talk about. Talk about what their goals are. What are their visions? Do they want to have 50 different clients? Do they want to have one long-term client that gives them everything they need, time-wise and money-wise and financially and growth and all of that opportunity? And so I know that I have to be able to present that if that's the type of support I want. So I know for a fact I can't say, I'm looking for long-term. I would love you to be able to commit fully and solely to me. I want you to quit. It'd be great if you could stop working with all your other clients and one day just exclusively work for me. But, I'm going to cap you out at X amount of dollars an hour or X amount of hours a week. And there's really not much opportunity here. It's just you take what you get as it comes in. I know for a fact that's being unrealistic. And so if you want a long-term support team, then you need to be able to create the opportunity for that. And you also need to think about that when you're hiring. And so we have to get out of the mindset of, this is what I need right now today, so I'm just going to hire this person. But, I'm going to be upset if they can't commit to me 40 hours a month or 20 hours or for the long haul, and be upset when you're hiring again. And so when I was having these conversations, these are the things that were coming up is, why am I always looking for help? Why do I have to rehire? Why am I always going back behind everybody? Why this and why that, and why all this negative, bad experience? It just doesn't need to be there. A lot of difficult ventures and experiences seem to be happening with outsourcing. And really, it's just coming down to the simple fact that if you need to know where you're going, and you need to know what type of support team you want. And so if, a lot of the potential clients that I talk to that consider working with us, that's what they're looking for. They don't want to deal with hiring. I deal with it. I build a team. You just come to me. We give you what you need. If we need an extra person on the team, you don't need to know about that. We go get it and we get things done. And so it takes the business owner out of, who do I need to do this, and where am I going to find that person, and who's the best for this, and oh my gosh, are they going to stay on, and oh, do I need to rehire, and oh my gosh, this person's capped out and I got to find someone else. And we take all of that on and allow the business owner to just go focus on what they do best. But that's not for everybody. Not everybody. I've had plenty of conversations where people have said, this is fabulous. Like, you've created great structure and everything under one roof, and wow, this is almost a no-brainer, but it's not what I'm looking for, because I really just want one-on-one. And that's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. If they want that one-on-one person, then again, you just have to remember that that person at some point is going to get capped out. They're not going to be able to support a 6-7 figure business all by themselves. So at some point, either you need to hire more people, or that person is going to have to get advanced into a position with you where you're paying that person to do what they're doing and hire people, which would be like an online business manager or an assistant maybe, or someone like that. But again, you have to look at your long term if you want a team that's going to be there long term. Okay, so those were some of the things. And then the other piece too that we talked about was considering personality, considering, passions and things like that. A lot of the times we don't really even think about that stuff, but it's so important. And for me, I base all of my decisions on those two things, personality and passion. So for me, when I'm whether it's a client or it's a team member, either or, when I'm having a conversation with someone, we need to be able to blend well together. Or maybe we offset each other and balance each other out really, really well. So for me, I'm not a detail-oriented person. Why? Because I don't care about the little tiny details. I care about the big picture. So for me, it's so important that my team is detail-oriented, because that balances everything out that I offer. And so if you and I are having a powerful conversation, and you might be throwing out these little tiny details, I'm taking really great notes, and I'm getting it all on paper, but when it comes time to the doing, I'm so focused on that big picture that I skip over all that other stuff, and that's where my team comes in. And so if you can find people that can balance your flaws out, then you really create a win-win-win situation, which is what I'm all about. And so whether I'm talking to a team member or I'm talking to a potential client of mine, the one thing, or the two things that really have to be there, is the passion and the personality. So I love when we have a powerful conversation and we connect and we kind of read each other's minds, or we just know what to say, like what the other person is thinking or wants to say but doesn't know how to verbalize it. I can just do that for them, or they can do it for me. And we're just like, at the end of the conversation, it's like, wow, we connect. And so I love having that type of connection. I love having a really good conversation that's good vibes, good energy, and we're just on the same page. And when we're talking about your visions and your goals, we really align there. That's really important. And so I won't work with clients if I don't feel that. If I have a client who comes on and says, oh, well, I need this done, and I want this, and I want that, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I don't know what that is yet, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I need this. That's really not an ideal client for me. That to me is chaos. It's unorganized, not clear. There's some uncertainty there. And if I can work through that with them through a conversation, then that's great. But my experience has been they come on board and they want to run the ship. They want to drive the train. They want to be completely in the lead, and they're not open-minded to taking any suggestions. And so we won't risk our reputation for clients who I'm just not ready for this yet. And I find too that a lot of people that are like that are still ready for that one-on-one, because they aren't ready to step out of business yet. They really want to control the situation. They really want to kind of hone in on every single tiny nitty-gritty detail, and they're really stuck on what they think is the best way to do things. And so those are clients and business owners who are not ready for what we have to offer, because we want to actually get into the nitty-gritty with you, and we want to bring our suggestions to the table. And since we've been doing this for 13 years, we probably know best the most effective way to do things. And not always. I have clients who bring amazing stuff to the table that I learned from. And so it's not always the case, but we love business owners who are open-minded to that, who want other suggestions and other maybe more effective ways to do things. And so passion is important. I can't be more passionate about your business than you are. And I can't be more passionate about my team member really owning their role than they are, or it's just not going to work out. And so when I'm doing my phone calls with potential team members and potential clients, those are the first two things I look for. And it used to be that we were supposed to look for skill set and you know, resumes and references. I could give a shit about any of that. I don't ask for references. I don't ask for resumes. I don't care. I could care less who you worked for last year. I really don't care. I don't care what degrees you have. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is your ambitiousness. Are you ambitious to learn? Are you ambitious to grow? Are you eager to work with me and help my clients be successful? And you want this for the long term. You want to dive in, roll your sleeves up, and just get in and own your position. And skill sets are important, but those are not what I first look for. First, I want to know your passion, and I want to know that you're passionate about heart-centered entrepreneurs who are really looking to take the business to the next level, because that's my clients. That's what they're ready to do. I need a team that supports that and is on the same page. And with clients, same thing. I want you to be passionate about growing your business. I want you to be ready to step out of some of this stuff and let us own it and let us help you do that. And so if the passion aligns and the ambitiousness is there and the personality and we just have great energy, then we can start talking about other items, like what do you need and you know, how can we support you? And with team members, you know, what are your skill sets and what do you know how to do? What do you really love doing? Like if I gave you a perfect position, what would it be? And then what don't you like to do? Those are really important. Those are really good questions to ask, because I don't want to give my team members anything they don't absolutely love to do. And so I have to find the right people to do that. And so these are all the things that we talked about, and I was so excited to share all of this because I feel like this whole outsourcing bit has just been, it's just been taken to a whole nother level of complex, and it doesn't need to be. It's actually so simple. I hire people left and right when I need them, and I have an amazing team, a fabulous team. Do we make mistakes? Of course. Have I had to maybe replace people over the past 13 years? Yeah, not so much in the past couple, but yeah, I have. And sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, we're going in different directions, and that's okay. I want to see all of my team members happy. I want to see all of them successful, and I want to see them grow beyond me and maybe with me for some of them. And I want the same for my clients. And so sometimes it's not forever, and that's just life. But I know how to immediately turn right back around and replace if I need to, or find another person that's just as good, if not better, and continue to grow and expand my team. And so those are things I love sharing, because I'm proof that you can have an amazing support team and that it doesn't have to be difficult. And these things that I'm sharing with you are absolutely facts. It's pure facts. It's proven history that if you have a plan in place and you know where you're going, then you know who you need, and then you can get the people that are going to be there to support you, and get clear on the type of people that you want, one-on-one, a group, get clear on personality and passions and different things like that. There's so many resources out there to check all this stuff out before you do it. And if you don't want to put your hands in any of that stuff and you say, you know what, here's what I want a coach and I need a team. So I don't want to hire or find these people, then go to someone similar to my company or the other multi-VA companies out there where there's already the team in place. Just make sure that that full team as a whole offers what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a strategy and you're looking for, you know, brainstorming, and you're looking for someone who's really got a key for the big picture and the bottom line, you need to find a team that will have that type of conversation with you and that you feel resonate with you. And not all people do that. Some multi-VA companies are just, they're a team of implementers. Others, like similar to mine, we're total opposite. It's not just about getting stuff done for me. I don't want to get anything done if it doesn't impact the bottom line or somehow align with what we're trying to accomplish. And so we're very strategic. So it really, that's not for everybody either. I have clients who have you know, left because it was just too much. There was too much planning and mapping, and they were really just on a whim wanted to do, and we felt like, whoa, we got to slow down a second, because this isn't, we're not going to reach your goals this way. And that's not, some people are not ready to hear that. And right now they're in their motion of just go, busy, and launch, and really not map and plan stuff out. And so, you know, it just has to be a right fit. There's no right, wrong, or indifferent. It just has to be a good fit. And so I hope that this helped you. I hope it gave some type of clarity to, you know, really finding or building a team and taking some of the complexity out of this. It doesn't have to be so difficult. it can be really simple. And so if you have questions, I would love for you to ask them below. You can also go to my website. The link is below. You can learn all kinds of stuff there. There's tons of information and blogs and free content. Or you can click the link below and have a complimentary 30-minute chat with me where we can just have a powerful conversation, and maybe I can answer some of your questions or some of your uncertainty, or maybe you know, if you have some questions around maybe you're not sure what type of team you would need, then I'd be happy to have that chat with you and see if I can help you there, or you know, maybe answer some other questions for you that maybe I didn't get to here due to time. So have a fabulous day. I hope this helped, and I'd really love to hear any questions or suggestions or input that you have below, or go ahead and schedule a chat with me complimentary on my calendar, or take a peek around my site. I'd love to hear from you, and have a great day. Until next time, bye guys, thanks.